Greetings, my friend. This is Byron Warren. The mindset is key, and I would just like to share some positive motivation with you, some personal development with you. And I found these jewels to be a great attribute. And if you haven't, please subscribe to this channel, share it, hit the like button, and make sure that you stay in tune and hit the notification bell, because it's very important that you get notified about these great illustrations to kind of help you on your day-to-day activity and your walk mentally. And I just want to talk with you a little today about success. And we've touched on a lot of different areas, but success has to has its place. Success has to has its place. You know, people don't understand that success has to have a place. Success has to have a place within you. Success got to have that home of, they need to understand they can succeed at whatever they can. It didn't matter if there was some type of a birth issue when you were born. I've seen people, and you see it all the time, even personally, where people with different ailments and different things has happened to them over their lives. Nothing stopped them from succeeding. You have people that don't even have vision, but their success. You know, there's people with missing limbs, but they're still successful. No one allows the situations physically to stop them. You have to come to a place to where success is yours, that you can reach out and grab a taste of success for yourself. If you no longer want to continue to be where you are mentally, you're going to have to get a grip, and you're going to have to take hold of what you have the ability to do. But it's going to take you taking the time, making the necessary choices. Making the necessary choices. I want to make sure I drill that in. Making the necessary choices. The only way that you can get to the pinnacle of where you need to get is you're gonna have to make the choice to succeed. Okay? I'm just a share. I like to share a lot of my life stories. When people told me that I couldn't do none of the things that I'm doing because of my background, okay? Because I've had not so many good moments in my life, but I never lost track of the goals. I never stopped believing that whatever it was needed to happen. It didn't matter if I went through whatever I went through in my life. I never stopped believing that something great was in the midst for me. But it took me going through those things and getting older that things begin to happen. But I figured it out that the reason things are beginning to happen is because I never stopped. You know, when I hit this wall in life, I didn't stop. When I had to take that route in life, I didn't stop. When I had that dead end job, I didn't stop. You know, I didn't stop believing that success was mine. I didn't stop believing that I could own my own business. And as of today, I own my own business, and it has plenty of believing to start more businesses. But I was told I couldn't do those things. I was told that I had to have an X amount of education to do the things that I'm doing right now. When I begin production, when I begin to do certain things digital, people thought, well, there's no way you can get that. There's no way that you can do it without going to some university or college. Now, you better be careful with that learning too much. Well, I am here today to tell you I've achieved several of the goals that I've written down over the years, that I'm continuing thriving in production, that I'm continuing doing well with my home remodel company. But there was a time when I was told that I couldn't do that. I was told that it's not going to happen for you. I was told that you don't have the right friends in the right seats to approve that thing. Okay? I was told that because I'm not part of the crowd, okay, that I couldn't do it. The competition wouldn't allow it. I was told that because of certain things, I couldn't do it. Because of certain locations, I couldn't do it. They told me that, well, the hurricane got us, okay, here in Panama City, Florida last year. A lot of people, including myself, I lost my home and different other things, but how about this? I continued working. My business continued thriving. When I thought it was over, the storm got us. I said, there's nothing for the company. But then that success and that thriving kicked in. Was like, what are you doing? The mindset said, why are you pitching a tent with that attitude? Don't you know you've came so far? You got to keep going. And I want to share this with you because it was very touching how to not get too far off the subject of success, but how I continue to do cutting trees down. I've never been a Paul Bunyan of a sort or some tree cutting developer or anything like that. But guess who picked up a chainsaw and began to do the work? I did. Didn't lose a limb, didn't cut a finger off or none of that. I began to cut those trees down, help people. I was doing so much for no money, just thriving to be a help than a sword or a thorn to someone. But that's because the success within me is telling me you got to push. But you can't do it without caring for others. You can't get there without saying, hey, these people could use this. And I use my experiences, what I've spent years and years of research and on my personal time, just believing that there was something more than what I've experienced my whole life. I knew there was more than just being busted and disgusted mentally. I knew there was more than after a failure or after something didn't go the way I thought it should. I knew that there was more. I knew that there was some stick to itness and not to give up on whatever it was that I was attempting to do. And one of the main reasons that I continued, because I had so many people that told me what I could not do. That was my push, people. I want to share that with you. The more people tell you no, the more people tell you, well, you just probably ought to be careful. Listen, the reason I started this YouTube channel because a great friend of mine told me, he said, Byron, we're in the age of possibilities. We're in a place where people need that word. People need that truth. They need that push. Great friend of mine told me, he said, they need that push, man. They're going to need someone to say, you can do this. They're going to need somebody to say, it's okay, we missed it. You failed at that one thing, but don't give up. You keep going for it. You'll find what it is that you need. And what if I wouldn't have stepped out on it based on what people told me I needed to do? But I just believed it. I took the money that I had. I invested in myself. That is success has to have a place. The place starts with the choice. And as I begin to start this journey here, which you are hearing live, I begin to continue to invest and to continue to grow. And I just never stopped. But it was so amazing because this particular person that got touched was sharing with me about some of the tapes. You see, I had been doing these recordings for years before just now that you're hearing in the age of digital. I was doing these recordings with tape cassettes. I can tell you a story back in my life. I used to teach these different things that would come to me, and it was a great success. But at the time, CDs weren't invented then. It was just cassettes and so forth. And I was so confident in believing that I could help people, the ones that were chosen to hear my messages. And make several tapes. I would put them in a backpack, and it just started beginning. It was certain people that was like, hey man, that's that guy that has that motivation, man. He just somehow he believes that life can be better. And I was young then. I mean, I'm in my mid 40s now, but I had to be in my early 20s, like maybe 21 or maybe 22. But I had already got on the road to success. I was just doing things I never thought I could do. I mean, I was traveling, teaching people, training people in sales and different things of that nature. But somehow through life, we all lose that track, and I just begin to get wore out mentally, because at that time you got to remember, when you can get so busy and so caught up in whatever it is that you're doing that you'll miss it, that you'll simply miss it. I hate to say it, but you'll miss it. But it won't give up on you. It'll kind of show back up if that was meant to be. And here I am in my mid 40s, and the thing I started in the beginning when I was younger, it arrives back at this age. Some 20 years later, this popped back up. So when people say, what's your calling, or what's your deal, what's your thing, this popped back up in my mid 40s. And a lot has happened over the 20 years that I can share and talk about, but it was just amazing how it just took one friend that said, man, I still listen to your tapes. And that sparked something in me, because I had forgot about those tapes from back then. See how easy we can forget? I just had forgot those things. And it touched me because this person was like, man, I still listen to those tapes when you were doing recordings on tapes. And I thought that was awesome, because if a person listening to tapes, and we're in the digital age, that means something happened great for that person. And I just wanted to share that with you. I didn't mean to take so much time up with that, but the success has to come from within. Success means doing the best we can with what we have. Success is in doing, not the getting, in the trying, not the triumph. Success is a personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us, becoming all that we can be if we do our best. We are a success. See, that success has to have that place. It has to have that place. But you have to give it that shelter that it needs. It needs to abide somewhere. And why not let success abide within you? Success, in generally accepted sense of the term, means the opportunity to experience and to realize to the maximum the forces that are within us. See, it's got to start within you. Success is the maximum utilization of the ability that you have. Okay? Every successful man or woman I have heard of has done the best he or she could with the conditions as he or she found them. Okay? The greatest thing a man can do in this world is to make the most possible out of the stuff that has been given him. This is success, and there is no other. Powerful. It's what you do with what you got. I want you to remember that. It's what you do with what you got. We love you, and have a great day, and remember the mindset.